This is MAE334 Lab 3 by Group 6. The purpose of this lab was to showcase the frequency responses that captures the dynamics of the flexible beam. The beam represents an infinite order system. However, for the purpose of the lab, it will be analyzed as a single input and output second order system. This will help collect data in order to use MATLAB to generate Bodie plots that will further be illustrated within the results.
The first two steps are hardware setup along with Simulink and MATLAB configurations in order to begin the calibration. The strain gauge voltage will be measured in deflections from -2 to 2 inches in order to obtain a voltage to deflection tip conversion that will be utilized within the last two steps. The first simulation involves 6 tests, those being through the ranges of 1 to 21.6 Hz for approximately 20 seconds, while the second involves 5 random vibration tests for approximately 40 seconds. Both of these sets of tests will be further explained and illustrated during the results.
We ran the same experiment for 6 cases using different frequencies and amplitudes. Each case produced a similar graph as the one in the top right. This shows the motor angle and beam deflection over time. We also used those graphs to calculate the amplitude of both the motor angle and beam deflection with the amplitude ratios and also the phase angles. For part 2, we did something similar, however we had various random frequencies produced. So we plotted amplitude ratio and phase angle by the frequency, then put it on a semi-log axis, and created a transfer function by finding the gain, dampening ratio, and natural frequency, which was calculated as seen in the bottom right.
As seen in the results, the forcing at specific frequencies produce smoother graphs, whereas the random frequencies have noisier graphs. However, this does mean that there's a higher processing time associated with these specific frequencies, and while the data is accurate at those data points, it is not as accurate for those in between those points, as those data points are essentially a line of best fit. A downside to random frequency vibrations is that there's a need for mathematical analysis through fast Fourier transfer, where it is easier to just pick points on a sinusoidal forcing. For the references, we references Dr. Estes' Lab 3 manual for frequency response of a flexible beam. Thank you for watching our video.